Okay, so today I'm going to show you guys how to change ATF on AM6 automatic gearbox. Well, such is applicable to like AL4 4HP20. Yeah. So um, right now what you see is AM6, and so first thing you do is when you remove all this whatever that is covering uh, is on top of the gearbox to have access to it. So this is the drain plug here. You can see something here. So first thing you do is you select the bolt, the drain plug, not the drain plug, the filler plug. You select it. I don't like the idea of draining the oil first before you now come to select this, because there's always a possibility that if you don't do this one first, after draining the oil, issue might come up that this thing may not be able to lose. In that case, you may have to remove the gearbox from the vehicle to see how it can be lost. If this doesn't lose and you already drained the oil, there's no way to pour the oil, so it can enter a very serious trouble. So the best thing is first of all select it, then you can now drain the oil. Okay, so I'll put you guys to why the work is going on. Meanwhile, this is the ATF I'm going to use for this. Um, this is first time I'm going to use this. I can see this is manual. This is the brand manual. The model is A218 JWS 3309. So this is you check the Peugeot part number. It's not like the main Peugeot part number, but then you also see this there. So this is the first time. I know someone have used it in Europe, and from what he said, there was a lot of improvement. The gearbox was already acting up, but after using it, but just as in one case, it took like more than 20 liters of service, for the gearbox to start performing well. So, but I'm starting with 8 for now. It's 4 liters per gallon. 4 liters. So I'm going to use first. The gearbox takes about 3 liters to service it. So I measure 3 liters pour in, drain, pour, maybe drive the car for like 5 kilometers or so. Come back, drain the another 3 liters, and then measure another 3 from here, drain, and pour, then do the gauging. So we'll start the work, and put you guys to so the next stage is now to drain the oil. You see, we are pouring the oil now. This is a 1 liter container. This red one, remember this is 4 liters. So first measure first 1 liter, pour it, do another one, then do the third one. You can see this is reddish, the manual A218 ATF. So see, okay, liter now. Yeah, that's one. Yeah, it's a liter. It's 1 liter now. I think, yeah, this is a liter.
Not you.
Okay, get it to that one.
Yeah.
So it gets, if you are doing this, you need something that can serve like what is it called, funnel, but it has to be long enough so that can be able to all the oil without messing that place with ATF down on the gearbox. Oh, that's the gearbox ECU. That one with that sticker on it. Some people in Nigeria call it pad. It's actually the ECU. Now that was what they call Brimbus. Okay. So what they're doing it is look under this no leakage. No stain. So okay, so we can pour. So this is the second liter going in. So by the way, manual products they are basically German products. I hope they continue considering what's going on right now geopolitically in the world. You know, it seems Germany is deindustrializing themselves. So I know it's going to be very hard for all those companies or industries in Germany now to be able to keep producing quality products, high quality products. You know, considering the high cost of energy now, which they brought upon themselves, at least by their leaders, by sanctioning, and which is backfiring on them. Anyway, so back to this. So we've done the 3 liters now. So it's going to cover this thing back, bring down the vehicle, put everything down, now drive the car. Just like I said, just few kilometers and jack it up, drain it again, and this time put to about 3.5 liters and now see what happens. Okay, so I'm about to start the car after the first oil drain and the new 3 liters in. Now for some technicians, they do say advice like if you don't want to drive the car, all you need to do is you start the engine, then you shift this to drive, back to P, maybe do it like 3 times or so, then drain, do another drain. But me, I just want to drive, to me, the longer the oil pump is running, moving, all the gears inside are splashing, the ATF, it's mixing up more and more. So by the time you drain again, you will be able to get quite a number of the old oil out, rather than draining only few, old ones. I just wanted to mix up well. So I'm going to start the car, but I'll still do the stuff and I still will have to drive the car. Okay, so hold on. Alright, so one thing I'll tell you, if the oil is very, very low, if it doesn't gauge very well, you realize that when you are shifting, once you shift it out of park, you hear noise, which means the oil is too low. So Okay, so taking it for just 5-10 kilometers or however I drive, then come back and then do the second one. Okay, update you guys. Okay, so I'm back from the drive, and how many I covered? 5.9, almost 6 kilometers, 5.9 kilometers. So I'm going to do another drain and see what happens. Okay, so now this is the second drain. This is the first one, this is the second one. So it's still very black. I just hope the gearbox doesn't have an internal problem. What they call fiber or flush. I hope it hasn't burnt, because it's still almost as dark as the first one we drained. So anyway, so we've done the drain. We put the new 3. So the second time what I did was put 3.5 liters. So covered up this space, because I don't need to do that anymore. So what's remaining now is to drain. No, is to gauge it. Now look at it. So normally for you to gauge it, suppose the oil temperature, the ATF is supposed to be at least 60 degrees Celsius. I can see, look at the gearbox oil temperature, 79 degrees Celsius. So I have to wait for it to come to at least that's 60 degrees Celsius before we drain. Will not necessarily drain. So what will now happen is, let's see what I can do to show you guys. Okay. So this is it. You see that one in the middle? This is the first big one is the oil level drain plug, while that small one in the middle is the one you use in draining, getting it to the level. So what will happen is, when you drain, when you start once you get to 60 degrees Celsius, so you start the vehicle. Of course, shift the gears from park to drive and back to park, and so you leave it on park, and with the engine running at idle, not under acceleration. Then you now remove that small one in the middle of the oil level, oil level plug. You remove that small one there. Then about half a liter will come out, will flow out, and then once it stops coming out, then you know it has gauged. It's now the normal quantity. Then you close it up. So now it's still 79 degrees Celsius. So I just have to wait for it to come down to close to at least that 60 before I can start the engine and then gauge it. So that's basically how to change ATF on AM6, and same I can apply same on AM4 4HP20 to the rest. But at least physically this is for AM6 what we are doing. Okay, so when I start the gauging, I'll let you guys know. So I need to switch up the system so that the battery doesn't go down while waiting. This is I have another 10 degrees Celsius to drop. Okay, so the oil temperature has dropped to about 60 degrees Celsius. So we're about to do the oil drain now. So somebody is already under the car, so I'll start the car, shift the gear to park, back, and now open it up and start the drain. Okay. Okay, so you can remove that one now. You can remove it. That's small one. Okay, so so you can see now where it's going. So what will come out to be maybe about half a liter or so. Okay. So hold on, let me stop. You need to stop because you start doing come, then you can finish. Remember, when you are doing this, you need to use it as idle. Don't accelerate, don't set it as idle. So you started doing some, yeah, you can close this now, yeah. So, yeah. Okay. So when you beat it out, we will look at what the quantity that came out, but what this means is the oil level is now the oil level in the gearbox is now gauged the normal level. So remember we put about 3.5 liters, 3.5 liters. So okay, so it's out. So let's look at what came out. Okay, so this is half a liter here, so this is where it is. So what came out is a little bit above half. So I think what we had in the car was more than 3.5 liters. So that's how to gauge our AM6 automatic gearbox of oil level or ATF level. So yeah, we concluded the oil change. However, it's still not enough, like I said, considering the color. Oh, let's even look at the color of the ATF. It came out this third time. Let's see if it looks a little bit better. Still dark, but not still dark. To say maybe not as dark as this other, especially the first one, but still dark. So it's going to take a while, a lot of change. How many? Who knows? Maybe 2-3 more changes before it becomes clear. So in other words, the recommended or the ideal quantity for actually change this ATF so that everything will be clear, especially if it has deteriorated this bad, you have to use up to 20 liters. Yes, 20 liters. That's what you need to use so that it can be able to become as clear as new oil, you know. So that is it. We use 8 liters, it's still not enough because the color of what came out, the third drain, which is the one we came out as while gauging the oil level, it still looks like it's still really, the old oil has really darkened, so it's not that good for the gearbox. But at least I want to believe what will be in the gearbox now, new oil, probably more than 50% of the oil in the gearbox will be the new one. So we'll see. So don't let this oil get this dark. I just hope it has not affected or harmed the gearbox inside. That's what is called valve body, something they call fiber or clutch inside the gearbox. I hope it hasn't affected those ones. The gearbox, it's giving small symptoms, not all the time. Once in a while, you get that whim, sometimes it do as if it wants to over-rave while you are in motion. So all those things, it's as if the gearbox, let's see what happens after this change. If there's improvement, then the owner will work towards changing in very near future. If we continue, then I will just keep using it like that until eventually, if it comes to change, if the gearbox packs up, then get another one and then maintain the recommended interval. Not necessarily Peugeot recommended change interval, but based on experience people have had using this gearbox, it's not wise to use the oil or ATF in the AM6 automatic gearbox more than 30,000 kilometers. It's not wise, otherwise you may end up losing the gearbox. Okay, so that brings it to the end of this ATF change. Remember, this is what we used. So this, like I said, this is my first time of using this. This first time I've heard about it, how good it is for this gearbox. So remember, this is the brand manual 8218 here. I'll be able to help you get it more faster. Then these are the transmission types and brands that use this. That can use this oil. So 5 years. After 5 years, if you continue, don't buy. It actually has this is the year here. Was produced May, or what have you seen here? Oh no, 31st May 2022. So that was 5 years shelf life. So it's only 1 year that's okay, it's not even up to a year, like 4 years plus, still remaining. So if you are buying this oil, look at the shelf life, so you don't end up buying one that's already shouldn't be used. Okay, so that's the end.